Hey team, got some surprising updates for you, so hang on tight, man. This is coming at you on the tail end of the Q&A question that I put out for you a week or two ago. And so now that I'm back here in the United States of America, I want to take a few minutes and answer your questions as well as give you some updates on where a few things stand. The very first thing that I want to address is one of those Q&As, man, because I want to put this thing out front, bold, and in the center to make sure that there's no misunderstanding. So I got to ask a question, not in the Q&A, but in an earlier video of if I was an Army Ranger, and in the Q&A, Scoped Wrecker asked how we could apply the planning that you learned in Special Operation Forces would apply to survival, creating a bug out corridor, use of a PACE plan, etc. And I want to let you know right up front that I am not an Army Ranger. I am not a Green Beret. I'm not Special Forces. I'm not 18 series. I'm not a corporal. I'm not a warrior poet. I'm not a SEAL. I'm none of those things, man. I'm just a regular old dadgum crayon eater who happens to, like you, enjoy mastering my craft and developing my tactical virtue. And so I have, a long time ago when I was in the Corps, I was in Fast Company. Most people don't know who they are or what they do, and they are not considered Special Operation Forces. That being said, while I was with them, I did do a lot of schools, a lot of training. Most of the schools aren't any of the big upper tier echelon schools that people may know by name. But I did learn a few things back then, and I've learned a few things along the way since I've been in the Army. Now, being prior service, I didn't have a choice of what my MOS was going to be, so I had to take what the Army gave me or hit the road. After I did win a pretty large competition a few years back, I guess it's been about a decade now, I was offered the opportunity to go to a Special Missions unit, and I turned that down because I love training and leading soldiers, if that makes sense. And I knew if I went out to a smooth that I wasn't going to have the opportunity to be able to do the very thing that I love doing the most, which is being on the ground with troopers, giving them purpose, direction, and motivation so that they can accomplish the mission and improve the organization. I've been extremely blessed this entire time to be able to do just that. And so here on the channel, I hope that I present some of the things that I picked up along the way, whether it was through institutional training, operational domain during some combat deployments, and just beating around in the bush. And I hope I can do that in an authentic way that makes sense, that's relatable, that's understandable. And I know that through your comments, because a lot of you have a lot of experience as well, that I pick up from as you leave some comments down below, man, so that we do continue to grow this conversation, man. I do appreciate each and every single one of you. So thank you, man. You guys are freaking awesome.
You seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me!
Now that we got that cleared up out of the way, we'll run through some of these other ones. But to answer some more of that question, you know, how do I apply some of my training? And I'll tell you, man, if you get into my Fieldcraft playlist or my Urban Survival playlist, you're going to see a lot of the things that I have picked up along the way and how they can be implemented in a survival situation, especially if we're talking about an SHTF moment, urban operations, urban planning, convoy operations, and I got a lot more stuff that's coming up down the road. So I hope you stay tuned for it. Joseph C. asked, he's getting ready to go off to boot camp and was wanting to know some best practices to get ready. And I'll tell you and encourage you and submit to you, man, to check out my other channel, which is Bill Stoker. And although it's primarily focused on Army leadership and development, you're going to find a lot of the same things that's going to apply, because doctrinally there's not a lot of differences between the Corps and the Army, at least from my experience. Doctrinally there's pretty much none. So as you prepare yourself for boot camp, man, you can do all the PT that you want, but you're going to get smoked. The best thing that you can do is to get your mind right, to go in being a team player, being humble, being teachable and coachable. Man, if I got dudes like that, I can teach anything, but I can't put in drive where it doesn't exist. So hats off to you as you continue to go down this journey, man, and to earn your Eagle Globe and Anchor, man. I'm super stoked and super proud of you. THC 2 High Chicks, if I said that right, how to aim off better during navigation, and how to make sure that you only laterally drift in one direction. For example, say that you're aiming off for a waterfall and you aim 3 degrees to the right. How do you make sure that you don't drift off? So first I'll tell you, man, 3 degrees is not all that much. As you're going to see in an upcoming video, the difference of 10 and 15 degrees, that can make a huge difference, especially if you're moving, you know, 1,000 meters. But what you want to do is, as you are intentionally drifting off, I know I need to move, let's just say at 90 degrees, but in order to make sure I can find that point that I'm looking for, I'm going to shoot off at 105 degrees, because I know that there is a landmark that I'm going to find in this direction, and then from there I can use that as an attack point to move off to where I'm going to try to go. And the best thing you can do is to make sure that you're moving towards a major terrain feature, whether it's man-made or natural. It could be a building, could be a road structure, could be a power transmission line, railroad tracks, whatever it is that you know that you're not going to miss. And along the way, hopefully you have some other natural or man-made features, whether they're major or minor, that's going to help push you in that right direction that you want to move. Other than that, it's getting boots on the ground and getting some prac app in so that you know what to expect when you're moving out. Justin, my Panama Jack man, says, how do you use a compass without a notepad or a map and still get to where you're going? Is it possible? Yes. So I guess that's the short answer, yes. A long answer, you're going to see also in another upcoming video how you can move through without using a map or a compass, by just trusting your pace count and being able to move in a straight line to your objective. But you know, when you don't have a map or you don't have a notepad, something that you can write notes down on, you kind of have to use everything in your gray housing group, right, up here in the old noggin, and whether or not you can keep track of what it is that you're doing, where you're trying to go, and what you should expect to see along the way. Know that you always have a known starting point. Wherever you're at right now, that's a known point. Whether you know where you're at or where you're not, you're at a known point. So as you're moving out, you can hopefully always work your way back, whether it's just using a back azimuth, nice and straight, easy, one shot out, one shot back, or in the case of being able to go through and then having to make some notes. And if you don't have a way to take some notes, that can make some things difficult, and especially depending on other operational or mission variables that you may have, it can make it an extremely difficult task to do. But I think, that being said, you know, situation is going to dictate. So what are you looking for? How obvious is where you're trying to go as you get closer to it, as far as being able to work your way around through an area. So I think without thinking through some more specific scenario, that's about as specific as I'm going to be able to get, man. And I hope all is going well for you down there. Julius Newman asked, do you ever think about creating a Slack channel? Man, you know, to be honest with you, I have no idea what a Slack channel is, and I guess I'll have to dig into it. What I will tell you is, for the past probably 2 years, I have purchased you know, Stokermatic.com. I mean, that's my domain. I have not built a website yet. I'm looking forward to do that. Just got a couple other pegs I need to get lined up just right in the old cog. And one of the things I want to try to do in that is to build a forum so that we can continue to grow a conversation and a community who's out there trying to master their craft and develop their tactical virtues. So, man, Julius, if you want to make me smarter on Slack channel, I'm all for it. I tell you what, man, I don't know what it is, but I'm freaking cold right now. It's only like 55 degrees, but this little breeze coming in off the water is a little chilly. Revolution is my name. Update on the stuff that was stolen. Has anything been able to been replaced yet? So, update on my stuff. If you weren't tracking, about a month ago, I had my truck in the shop because some idiot ran into it and damaged it, and lied to everybody. So I ended up having to pay that deductible. And the rental car that I got, as I was coming back from the field, I had the old classic smash and grab, and they smashed out that rear window and took all my stuff, man. They got a lot of stuff, and that was a really hard gut check, dealing with some things that were sentimental, dealing with some things I've had for going on 20 years now. But through that experience of sharing what happened with the community, and it was right around the time of my birthday, I've been absolutely floored, humbled, and 100% stoked at the response in the community, both at home and out there in the whole YouTube verse, and where all y'all are coming in from, whether it was just standing with solidarity with me or supporting me, physically supporting me. I am absolutely flabbergasted, man. Was totally not anticipating or expecting any of the response that came through. So insurance company I'm about done dealing with, I think. I just had to get the police report, and I got that turned in now, so we'll get all that turned in and hopefully be able to close the loop on that. A lot of my kit has already been replaced, again, through so many of you all who've helped me out in on that. And I've gotten a couple other bigger items purchased, and got a couple other things that I'm looking in at, and should be good to go. And I think what you're going to see between now and probably the end of next month, you're going to see a lot of stuff that was stolen in videos, because I had quite a few videos shot and cropped and ready to go. But I will at some point in time probably film a video, and it'll be a gear loadout video, if you will, of a lot of the kit of where it stands now, and I'm super stoked about that and super pumped up to share that with you. So that's kind of where we're at. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys. Victor asks how to shave when there are no razor blades off the shelf, you know, and it's some kind of a SHTF moment. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I suppose if you had a good thin knife, you could get that sharp enough to shave with for sure. But I might ask why, man. I don't think I'm gonna shave. But that's just me. But you know, using a strop and using a good stone to get things nice and sharp, crisp, you can do that, I guess. Patriot 59, John Bergen, and Eric D all asked and said some stuff about some safe travels and getting back to the States. So yeah, so for the past little bit, I had to go overseas to Korea for some stuff, and it was fine. Everything's G to G, and I'm good to be back. Riggs is stoked to be back. My family's pumped up that I'm back, and I'm stoked here as well. Let's see here. Did we get all this? No way. Make sure we got all this stuff. Boot camp, off, aiming off, compass, slack, stuff, shave, travels, back to the States. So yeah, man, I think we've got it all. Team, I think we got it all addressed. I hope that gives you a good update on where some things stand now, and answered all your questions and released the big fat surprise that I'm really nothing special. So I appreciate all you guys, man. It's a regular old crayon eater meathead, man. I do, man. I appreciate all you guys. Leave some comments down below. That way we can continue to keep this conversation rolling. And until then, man, y'all, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.